Welcome back to CBS News 24/7. I'm Elizabeth Cook. The U.S. Supreme Court has just handed down a massive blow to an executive order from President Trump that sought to put an end to birthright citizenship. House Speaker Mike Johnson was holding a press conference at the exact moment that ruling came down. Here's what his reaction was.
I think anybody who looks at this, oh dear.
That decision is children born in the United States, parents unlawfully or temporarily present, are subject to the jurisdiction of the United States and are citizens at birth under the 14th Amendment Citizenship Clause. What's your reaction to that, Mr. Speaker?
Well, I need to read the opinion, okay? But obviously that's, I mean, you could say that's a textualist, originalist view. I will say I'm very disappointed in that outcome.
Now, the reaction across the aisle, much different. Here's Democratic Congressman Pete Aguilar.
This was the right decision. The crazy part is that it wasn't a unanimous decision. I think that's the most shocking for us. But look, the Supreme Court playing politics and being cheerleaders isn't unique these days.
I want to bring in Andrea Flores. She is the founder of Securing America's Promise. Andrea, great to be with you. I want to get your reaction to the decision today on birthright citizenship and the disappointment coming from some members of Congress there.
So, I mean, it was a resounding victory in itself for the Constitution, right? I think, as Mike Johnson said, the Speaker said, this was actually a very originalist, textualist decision. They looked at the exact text of the 14th Amendment, and Chief Justice Roberts, Justice Amy Coney Barrett, they joined the liberal justices and upheld birthright citizenship. And so I think where it got more interesting, and I mean, I understand the disappointment. This is one of President Trump's first week executive orders. And so it's a signature part of his immigration strategy. But ultimately, the public generally supports birthright citizenship. And so this was a case where President Trump was out of step with what the majority of voters actually support, this idea that's been very enshrined in American history.
You know, President Trump weighing in earlier today, he called that decision, quote, too bad for our country, and says they can easily make it up in Congress through legislation with no constitutional amendment necessary. So do you agree with the president here? Is this something that they can still make happen given the decision from the Supreme Court?
So they could try to pass along Congress, but because of the number of justices who sided with Chief Justice John Roberts that the Constitution was clear that it would prohibit this type of exception of immigrants, both undocumented and temporary, from receiving birthright citizenship, no, they would not likely be successful. They do not have the votes on the court to uphold a law that way. So Justice Brett Kavanaugh, he kind of tried to show Congress how they could build in a new exception, since Congress in its own statute has built in 4 exceptions to the citizenship clause in the Constitution, but they're not likely to prevail with this court.
Andrea Flores, thank you so much.